What if I told you that every time you open that private browser tab, your brain is being quietly rewired in ways that can leave you weaker, lonelier, and far less likely to ever build the love or life you actually crave? This is not about morality or guilt. This is hard neuroscience, raw psychology, and the very wiring of your brain's reward system being hijacked by pixels on a screen. Today we dive into a deeply uncomfortable but necessary conversation that most people avoid. In this episode of The Diary of a CEO, host Stephen Bartlett sits down with Dr. Alok Kanojia, known as Dr. K, a Harvard-trained psychiatrist who has spent thousands of hours talking to people trapped in cycles of porn addiction, emotional numbness, and a quiet despair that eats away at their lives. We are about to explore 10 powerful takeaways from their conversation. These will help you see how porn is not just destroying your brain's wiring, but also why so many men feel lost, how our society quietly set this trap, and what you can actually do to break free and rebuild yourself from the inside out. Takeaway 1. How porn destroys your brain's wiring. Dr. K explains something that sounds almost scary. Every time you watch porn or masturbate, your brain gets a blast of dopamine. This is the same chemical that fires when you eat sugar, win a game, or feel loved. But with porn, that hit is supercharged because evolution designed your brain to see sex as the highest reward. The problem is that when porn becomes a regular habit, your brain's pleasure circuits adapt. It starts rewiring itself so that this artificial pleasure becomes the main source of reward. Imagine someone who only eats chocolate cake all day. Their taste buds change, and they stop craving healthy food. In the same way, a brain hooked on porn stops craving real intimacy, real connection, and even real effort. It is like your brain says, why go through all the trouble of dating, flirting, and bonding when you can just press play and get a surge instantly? Over time, the natural wiring that motivates you to connect with others gets weaker. This is why Dr. K says porn is literally destroying your brain's wiring. The real danger is not just in feeling guilty. It is that your own mind is being trained to crave the easiest, fastest source of pleasure, which makes you less likely to chase meaningful goals, less likely to endure discomfort, and more likely to feel empty when life gets hard. Takeaway 2. Pleasure today builds cravings tomorrow. The worst part of all this is that the pleasure you get right now does not stay in the past. Dr. K explains that every time you enjoy porn, your brain is not only feeling good in that moment, it is also learning to crave it again tomorrow. This is because dopamine does 3 things at once. It gives you pleasure, it builds motivation to get that pleasure again, and it creates craving. So when you watch porn today, you are actually buying more craving for tomorrow. That is why many people find it so hard to stop. It is not just a habit. It is a brain loop that feeds itself. Just like someone who tries to eat only one chip but ends up finishing the whole bag, your brain keeps pulling you back for more. Dr. K uses a simple comparison. If you give your body nothing but junk food, it stops wanting vegetables. If you give your brain nothing but cheap pleasure from porn, it stops wanting the hard but meaningful satisfaction of real love or deep achievement. That is why so many people feel stuck. Their brain has been trained to chase the wrong rewards. Takeaway 3. Why post-nut clarity proves it all. There is something nearly every man has felt, but few truly understand. It is called post-nut clarity. Before orgasm, the lust centers in your brain are so strong they actually shut off your ability to think clearly. Dr. K says this is an old survival mechanism from evolution. It helped humans reproduce, even if their logical brain might have hesitated due to practical reasons. But right after orgasm, those lust circuits switch off and your rational brain fires back up. Suddenly, you look at your phone or the person you were planning to meet at 3 a.m. and think, what the hell was I doing? Stephen even shared how he almost drove an hour to meet someone he barely cared about, only to change his mind after masturbating. This is not a personal flaw. It is biology. But the problem is that porn gives you endless cycles of this rush and crash, over and over, without ever building the emotional bonding that real intimacy creates. That means your brain learns to separate sex from connection, which leaves you feeling hollow afterward, and more likely to go back for another hit. Takeaway 4. Techniques to beat urges and stay strong. If you feel trapped in these urges, Dr. K has some surprisingly simple ways to start gaining control. One is called urge surfing. When a craving hits, you do not have to fight it head-on or try to crush it instantly. Just notice it. Watch how it rises, peaks, and then slowly fades. Most people do not realize that cravings almost always fade if you wait them out. Another tool is alternate nostril breathing. This might sound odd, but by blocking one nostril, breathing in, then switching and breathing out the other side, you force your mind to focus. This calms your nervous system and breaks the intensity of the craving. Dr. K says it is like training with a sword before the enemy shows up. If you practice this daily, then when a real craving strikes, you will be ready. These small acts of self-control start to rebuild the circuits in your brain that porn has weakened. Takeaway 5. How to start breaking porn addiction. Dr. K does not recommend going cold turkey right away for most people addicted to digital content like porn. Instead, he suggests a clever first step. Pick a specific hour of the day when you allow yourself to watch porn. Log out of your accounts and restrict it to just one device. This keeps porn from invading every empty moment of your life. Next, learn to spot the danger zones in your day. Maybe you always feel tempted late at night when you are alone, or right after a stressful meeting. Plan ahead for these moments. Have a different activity ready, like calling a friend, taking a walk, or even just doing the breathing practice. Over time, you can start skipping days and reducing the need for porn until it becomes something that no longer controls you. The goal is to give your brain space to heal and relearn what real satisfaction feels like. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. Finding purpose helps you quit porn. Many people try to quit porn because they feel ashamed or because their partner is upset. Dr. K says that rarely works long-term. You need a deeper reason. If your life is full of purpose, whether that is chasing a big dream, building a meaningful relationship, or simply growing into the best version of yourself, porn naturally loses its grip. Your brain starts craving real experiences over fake ones. Dr. K has seen countless people who once struggled with addiction turn into some of the strongest, most focused people he knows, simply because they found a bigger why. The empty hours they once filled with porn are now packed with things that truly matter, leaving little room for old habits. Takeaway 7. The loneliness trap men are falling into. Modern life has created the perfect storm for loneliness, especially among men. Dr. K points out that decades ago, even shy or awkward guys were forced into social spaces like schools, jobs, or community events. They learned how to interact, even if it was hard. Now, you can work from home, order food online, and get sexual release from porn without ever talking to anyone. Many men reach their 30s having never developed the skills or confidence to build a real relationship. It is like a quiet extinction, where these men simply stop being part of the dating and family world. Their genes, as harsh as it sounds, will not be passed on. All because their environment allowed them to avoid the tough but necessary steps of human connection. Takeaway 8. Why many men are angry and lost. This loneliness does not just stay inside. It often turns into anger or resentment. Dr. K talks about how many men online become part of communities that blame women, society, or unfair systems for their struggles. Underneath that rage is often a deep fear that they will never find love or have a family. It does not help that when men do open up, they are often told to toughen up or try harder without anyone understanding the deeper emotional wounds. This cycle of loneliness feeding anger, and anger pushing people further into isolation, is part of why so many men today feel completely lost. Takeaway 9. Why spiritual growth often follows addiction. It might sound strange, but Dr. K says that many people who beat porn or other addictions come out the other side with a new kind of spiritual strength. The fight forces them to look inside, face their pain, and build a mind that is no longer ruled by quick pleasure. They learn to accept discomfort and keep going anyway. This is why someone who was once crushed by addiction often ends up with a calm power that others admire. They have wrestled with their own mind and come out stronger, more peaceful, and more aware of what truly matters. Takeaway 10. AI and tech may harm real bonds. Near the end, Dr. K and Stephen also explore how technology might make all these problems worse. With AI companions, endless scrolling, and dating apps that turn people into swipes, it becomes easier than ever to get a fake sense of connection. This feeds your mind's biases, giving you what you want to hear without ever challenging you to grow. Over time, this can make people less patient, less willing to work through tough moments, and more likely to retreat into digital worlds. It is one more way we are quietly training ourselves to choose the easy fake over the hard real. So there you have it. 10 takeaways that show how porn, loneliness, and the silent design of our modern world can all combine to quietly destroy the wiring of your brain, leaving you hungry for quick pleasure, but starved of deeper meaning. The good news is that by understanding what is really going on inside your head, you can start to rebuild, find real connections, and maybe even grow into someone stronger than you ever imagined. If this got you thinking, share it with a friend who might need to hear it too, and let us know below which part hit you the hardest. Your brain, your relationships, and maybe even your entire future might depend on facing these truths head-on. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.